So I'm beyond excited to give you guys a very first look at Speakeasy Leather's brand new wallet, the Dalton. And not only that, the only way to get this wallet, at least for the very first week after I release this video, is through the link in my description box. It's a back way into the Speakeasy, if you will. And I have the secret password if you want a discount entering that Speakeasy. But I'll have all that at the end of this video. But for now, let's talk about this brand new Dalton from Speakeasy Leather. But first, let me give you a close-up of the two Daltons that I have right here. This is the Dalton with the coin pocket, and this Dalton right here is without the coin pocket and the thumb slot. Now, there's three versions available. The version that I don't have right here, I'll pop up a picture on the screen right now. There is no coin pocket or a thumb slot. But the version right here is the one I've been carrying the most, the one with the coin pocket. And I do have one of Speakeasy Leather's coins right here. And let's just plop that in here, and I'll keep this coin in the pocket throughout the rest of this video. So these two versions of the Dalton are handmade from Badalassi Carlo leather. This is a Badalassi Carlo Pueblo in navy, and this is Badalassi Carlo Bordeaux. And if I give you a close-up of that stitching, that is a jet gray thread with the brass snap. Now the version that I have right here with the thumb slot without the pocket is an olive Badalassi Carlo with a moss color thread. And it also has the brass snap, so I have two with the brass snap, but it's also available with a black snap. Now the Dalton here is inspired by the Speakeasy Leather diavela, and you guys know how much I absolutely love the diavela. The diavela wallet is easily one of my most carried wallets throughout the past couple of years. If you guys saw my review, you're gonna know why. But I'll go over the differences between the diavela and the Dalton a little bit later on in this video. But this also gives me a good opportunity to show you that black snap versus the brass snap right there. So regarding the quality of the Dalton, you guys know Speakeasy Leather just absolutely knocks it out of the park with the quality and attention to detail with every single wallet they make. Rob at Speakeasy Leather is a true master at his craft and just proves it here with the release of this Dalton. So I'll give you another close-up at that saddle stitching right here. Everything looks fantastic. Everything is nicely burnished, as you can see, and give you a look at the cuts here. Everything looks fantastic. And I really like the snaps that Rob uses here. They feel very nice and strong, really high quality. I just released a review of another wallet that used a very weak snap, and coming from that to this, you can just tell the difference. This is much better. And let me show you guys why I love Badalassi Carlo so much. Just look at the texturing and grain of this leather. It is absolutely beautiful. And then couple that with this Bordeaux color red and the navy Pueblo pocket right there. I love this color combination. And then I'll give you a close-up of this olive Badalassi Carlo right here. It's just an absolutely beautiful leather. And yes, you guessed it, it is time for a smell test. It is phenomenal smelling leather. I love the smell of this leather. And do me a favor, if you guys end up getting one of these wallets, just take it and smell it when you first unwrap it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now let's talk about the design or styling of the Dalton. And I already mentioned that it does take inspiration from the diavela wallet. But there are three different versions here, but no matter which version you get, each one's gonna have a single pocket for your credit cards and a dedicated cash compartment in the back. But as opposed to the diavela that has the leather on the side holding in the cash compartment with a snap, Rob made the choice to have the leather flap on the top holding in your credit cards and then snapping up. Now he did that for a reason, because apparently there have been some complaints with the diavela with metal credit cards that would just slide out through the top here. Now I've carried the diavela for a while. I've never had any problems with my cards slipping out, but I also don't carry metal cards. I'm not really sure why a metal card would slip out easier on the diavela rather than a plastic card, but apparently that's been a thing. But with this, you can see he fixed that problem by having this leather flap go over the top of the credit cards as opposed to the cash compartment right here on the side, which is really interesting because now with the release of the Dalton, now people have a choice of wallets based on how they carry or what they carry throughout the day. And I'll go over that once I do the card test and cash test. And not only does this design of the flap help keep your credit cards in, but if you go with the version with the coin pocket, you can see that flap does cover slightly the top of that coin right there. Now I have the original prototype version of the Dalton right here, and you can see just how far that design has come. Now on the prototype version right here, which did have the coin pocket, but this leather flap on the very top, it's just straight across. So when I was carrying this, obviously I was carrying the coin in there, you can see it molded, but there was nothing holding that coin in other than just the molding of the leather. So even though I never lost that coin, sometimes it did sort of move around and I was afraid I would lose it. But with this new design choice right here, there's no way that coin is gonna fall out. So I really like this design choice by Rob to make that flap on the top go completely diagonal, almost 3/4 of the way down the wallet. And another change from the prototype to the final version right here was actually one of my complaints, the size of this semicircular cutout right here. I felt like this circle was just too small, so when my cards were in there, they're pretty hard to grab a hold of. Not a lot of surface area to grab a hold of your cards. So you can see he absolutely made that change right there. A much bigger semicircular cutout. It is much more functional to grab your cards in when they're in there. And you can see it's basically the same cutout as we see in the diavela here. But other than those few changes, I don't think anything else changed from the prototype to the final version here. So let's do a card test here. I've been carrying this version with the coin pocket the most, even over the version with the thumb slot. I'm not sure why. I just love the looks of the coin pocket on this new Dalton. So I've been carrying this one the most, and I carry 7 cards with me on a daily basis. So this is already pretty much molded to those 7 cards. So even though this version right here without the thumb slot isn't going to be as functional as this wallet right here with the thumb slot, I still haven't had any issues with the functionality here just because of this large semicircular cutout right here on the top. I still have plenty of room to grab my cards, as you can see. And that's with 7 cards here. I also stuffed 7 cards in this wallet right here, but you can see with the addition of that circular thumb slot right there, it just makes getting your cards out almost effortless. But whichever version you choose, you can still pull all the cards out at the same time and just do the fan method, no problem. I have 5 American dollar bills here, and that's the beauty of the Dalton and the diavela. You can stuff all your bills in here. You don't have to fold them into quarters, you don't have to fold them into thirds. And there you go. So that's 7 cards and 5 American dollar bills folded in half. And this is gonna be the big difference between the Dalton and the diavela here, is if you're a cash carrier, you might wanna take a closer look at the Dalton because there's no more leather flap holding in those dollar bills. Now you can just pull those dollars out without having to unbutton anything, as you see right here. Now, if you're a cash carrier, that's gonna be a huge, huge plus for you. And in this version right here with the thumb slot, I still have 7 cards in there, but I have 10 American dollar bills in this dedicated cash compartment folded in half. And you can see, doesn't have any problems buttoning it up. 7 cards, 10 bills, not a problem. And once again, to access your cash, just give it a little squeeze and pull it right out. No need to unbutton. That snap right there, fantastic. So this is what I was talking about earlier about now having a choice and making a decision which way to go based on what you carry. If you're a cash carrier and love the diavela, you might want to go with the Dalton here just because you don't have to unsnap this wallet anymore to gain access to your cash. But if you're a card carrier such as I am and rarely use cash, I use cash for emergencies only, something like the diavela still might be the wallet for you just because there's no flap holding in your cards, and if you want to gain access to your cash, that's when you have to unbutton the wallet. So this makes for a very interesting choice. Either are you a cash carrier or are you a card carrier? But for somebody like me, I love the looks of this Dalton so much, even though I'm not really a cash carrier and I use cards every single day, I still would probably go with the Dalton here even over the diavela, only because I love the looks of this flap here and it just makes for a beautiful aesthetic. So if you're watching this video as I release it on Monday, February 13th, which so happens to be my birthday, the Dalton is available for purchase right now only through the link in my description. So the only way to gain access to the Speakeasy is through the back door, the link in my description, to grab yourself a Dalton. And that's for the first week only. After the week is over, you'll be able to go to Speakeasy Leather's website and be able to see this for yourself. But the link in my description box will still be active, so you can gain access either way after that first week. And if you want that secret password to get a discount to gain access to that Speakeasy, That password is Chrispy. If you use the code Chrispy, you get 15% off the diavela or the Dalton. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of Speakeasy Leather's brand new wallet, the Dalton? And remember, if you want to check these out for yourself, I will have a link down in my description box. And don't forget to use the code if you want 15% off. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!